Hello and welcome to GameState, a show where a couple of nerds get together to talk about video games. My name's Leah.
My name's Jaden.
I'm Andre.
And today we are discussing a game we have all been dying to play.
It's the Waynes. They're behind all this. What do you mean? The Waynes are the biggest gangsters in Gotham.
That's right, after 6 weeks of anticipation, the second episode of Batman the Telltale series is finally out. Titled The Children of Arkham, this episode obviously picks up from where the first one left off. You, as both Bruce Wayne and Batman, battle crime and corruption in Gotham City. There are 2 mysteries to uncover this episode. What is Cobblepot's revolution? And were Bruce's parents really involved with notorious crime boss Falcone? Now, we don't want to spoil anything for those who haven't played this episode yet, so we won't be discussing the plot. Even though we really want to.
Please.
However, we are assuming that you've played episode 1.
Yes, but we can talk about the most central element, the characters. Batman, the Telltale series, will fill you with emotions from both sides of the spectrum and will leave you questioning your own morals. Because there isn't just a good side or a bad side, there are 50 shades of dark. There is an intelligent understanding and respect for the characters and where they come from. All of the series' favourites are included: Batman, Catwoman, Jim Gordon, Harvey Dent, and Oswald Cobblepot. But don't expect the same personalities and attributes though, because Telltale have taken a few liberties with the story, background, and physical appearance. Mainly with the Penguin, who has been rewritten as a fresh new Bat story and one which should be applauded for its exciting storyline. Although we don't know much at the moment, I am interested in where they'll take him, because I was scared that they would be too afraid to take liberties with the source and just replay the same old characters we've seen a million times before. But luckily, we're shown a more complex look into the characters, and I appreciate the deeper exploration of the characters' deeper motivations, traits, fears, and insecurities. This is especially prevalent in Batman, as the game explores the 2 sides of Bruce Wayne's persona: Batman, the vigilante rogue, and Bruce Wayne, the billionaire playboy. Both characteristics blend well together and are fleshed out. Conversations become a mind game and can be implemented using 2 different strategies, depending on how you want to handle a situation: persuasive and charming, or direct and threatening. And both lend to how much information you'll be able to get from a person. This creates a balancing game of the type of reactions you will receive from characters and their overall opinion of how they perceive you. And the choices you made last episode really do make a difference. This is an episode where you can't get everyone to like you. Every choice or decision has its own rewards and penalties. You just need to decide how far you're willing to go. This gives weight to every choice or decision because they will remember it and it will come back to bite you. I love this system so much, and it was so much fun choosing how you want to play Batman because of the constant conflict of Batman's moral code of preserving life and how far you are willing to sacrifice your own integrity for the safety of Gotham. These choices and opinions were more intense in this episode and definitely made you question your own morals.
Yes.
I'm guilty of that.
We all are. You are thrown into very, very tempting situations that test Batman's integrity and your own. And in the end, it's your choice to see what you do with that power.
Yeah, well, I was quite happy to see a promised mechanic finally make its debut to the game. The choice to confront a situation as either Batman or Bruce Wayne, having seeming benefits and consequences to each choice. But it's hard to say if this choice really made much difference though, since the subject in question is killed short time later. Perhaps those decisions will play a part later on, but Telltale is really good at selling the illusion of choice while still making you stick to the path that they want you to follow. It's these more intimate moments and how they affect our larger decisions throughout the episode that reinforce the idea of Wayne and his alter ego as one cohesive character as opposed to 2 sides of the same coin. Instead, the two personas are reconciled as different tools at one man's disposal. And we're given a choice of using either Bruce's political savvy and personal touch or Batman's heavy-handed intimidation tactics to uncover the next piece of the puzzle. While we're only offered one such scenario in this particular episode, that options offers two distinctly different experiences, and each one provides different information depending on how each sequence plays out. As the Dark Knight, I kicked down doors and scared some information out of my target before security showed up, but Bruce Wayne was able to coax extra helpful and contextual details out of his quarry with some old-fashioned non-violent charm. When you do choose the vigilante route, however, this episode features some of Telltale's best action yet, even if it does suffer from the same noticeable frame rate drops or audio hiccups that seem to plague the more intricate cinematic sequences. Still, the QuickTime event sequences are an enjoyable break from conversation, and the bar fight sequence in particular remind me just how satisfying completing a well-directed QuickTime sequence can be. The puzzle-like combat sequence from episode 1 makes a return. During the debate between Harvey Dent and Mayor Hamilton Hill, Batman and Catwoman team up to bring down a small group of armed thugs that have taken staff members hostage. You have to study your targets, identify potential weapons in the environment, and execute a series of brutal attacks. This is still a clever way to represent Batman's foresight and battle prowess, but without any crime scene investigating, and amongst all the QuickTime event sections, it also highlights the lack of gameplay variety compared to episode 1. Overall, this game continues to be really interesting and makes me want to play the next episode immediately. But the gameplay could have had the effort put into it that the story did. Aside from an exciting bar fight that showed the potential of the gameplay and the mechanics, it seems your choices don't hold as much weight as previous Telltale games, and you are repeating a lot of actions. However, this shouldn't deter someone from continuing this adventure, and these issues could very well be fixed in upcoming episodes.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, like you said, it feels like there was a lot of effort put into the story here, but not as much put into actually playing the game. Like, a lot of the choices are made for you.
Yeah.
And occasionally, like I was saying before, occasionally it feels like Telltale has taken a leaf out of Netflix book.
Yeah.
You know, like occasionally being like, are you still watching? Are you still playing? You know, press E.
Yeah.
Like, press E to send a text.
It felt more of a visual novel this time around than more of an
definitely.
experience.
Which works because Batman is, you know, comic based. But at the same time, I mean, even then when you do finally get to actually, you know, really get involved with how the story is progressing, there were those couple of hiccups we all experienced. Like at one point I heard Laura Bailey, who plays Catwoman, her beautiful voice, but her mouth wasn't moving.
In one scene for me during the debate, there's a scene where an integral character gets killed, but the gun doesn't make a sound. So you just see a guy get shot and fall down.
A fly drops,
yeah,
basically. All right, and I think you guys had problem actually loading the game too, did
Yes,
you? Or-
in PC there have been a lot of problems with the drivers and a lot of crashes, unfortunately. On the Steam page, there are a lot of negative votes from Nivea users who have had problems with the drivers and a lot of bugs and crashes. So that is something the audience should look out for. Maybe just wait for an update or just see until they fix the problem.
And at the same time, those players who do want to play on Mac, we were promised that after the first episode, 3 days afterwards, it would come out on Mac, but now the second episode's out and it still hasn't come out. So we're waiting. We're excited.
Just get a PC, just get a gaming computer. Why would you play on a Mac anyway?
Because Mac is idiot-proof, but that is not the discussion of this. But in saying that though, I enjoyed the game. The amount of feels you get with the last choice, we can't discuss. But the amount of feels, I say I would give it 4 batarangs out of 5.
Yeah, I reckon I'd go 4. It would have made it probably a 4.5, 5 if there was more interactivity instead of just more of a
Yeah, press up to send a text.
less of that.
I loved how you could play Batman your own way and you could choose to Batman's own morals and ethics and put them into yourself. I wish some of the choices were a bit more hard-hitting. They didn't have too much consequence.
Except the last one.
I said the last one, that was
Yeah.
great. The last one definitely made it. It was a great game overall. I had a lot of fun. I'll give it 3.5 batarangs.
3.5? All right. So until next time, make sure you check out Batman the Telltale series. Bye.
See ya.